Okay.
Okay.
The first question is, do you like your current job?
That's a good question. Yeah, I do. I've been in my same job since I left school. I've been there for 31 years.
31 years.
33 years.
33 years. It's only one job. Don't change. Okay. The next question is, what is your highest level of education?
So I have a degree, a master's degree. It's in England. So that was a 4-year course. But I'm actually doing another degree now as well.
Which kind of degrees?
So my first degree was manufacturing engineering, which was engineering to start, then I specialised in manufacturing. And then now I'm doing, they call it an apprenticeship, which is normally for people coming from school, but the government have offered lots of money for companies to increase the education, so I'm doing a degree with work, working at the same time, and it's in data science. So computer science and data.
Oh, interesting. So next question is, what did you study? No, the same question. So skipping the question, and the fourth question is, how much do you make per month? You don't mind.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, from my country, it's a bit of a strange, you don't normally discuss that, but I'm happy to do that. But for a month, for a year, in England it's for a year, so it's around £100,000 per year. I'm a senior manager. I work at.
So how much do people earn, like on average, in your country?
I don't know what the average is now. A few years ago, it was something like 18,000, I think.
So the next question is, what is the difficult part of your job?
So I work in Ford Motor Company, the cars, yeah. And we're responsible for installing the new equipment to make new, well, it used to be engines, but now it's electric motors for the cars. So the difficult thing at the moment is that we are learning so much because it's all new. We're learning how to make motors, and there's all these different processes that we've never done before. And we work with the Americans as well, because Ford is American, so they kind of started everything, and now we're doing the work in the UK. And it's just managing all the getting the line installed and working as you find problems and how do you do this? Why is this not working? So
that's keep learning every day.
Learning and problem solving, lots of problem solving.
The next question is, what's unique point about your job?
So that
interesting part of your job, unique point.
Well, the interesting is the learning. I think new things. If we were still doing the same thing every time. I've been in the same job for 33 years, but actually I've moved around, and I started as an engineer doing the cylinder head, and then I went on to different areas, and now I'm a manager where we assemble components. So for me, it's interesting that you keep moving around, and then as the technology changes, I'm learning new things all the time. So to me, that's really interesting. And working with people as well. I'm a manager, so we have lots of new people join the company because we're increasing our size to install the motors. Getting all that different expertise or different viewpoints from people joining the company is very interesting.
It's really hard for me to guess the specific name of your job. Could you tell me the specific name of your job?
We have our factories that make the motors for the car, but we are not in the factory. We're like a central group, and then we go to the factory if there's a big change. So at the moment, do you know Liverpool in the north of England where the Beatles are from? We're putting a new factory in there. Well, it's not a new factory, it's an old factory, but we've taken some equipment out and we've got a new space, and then we're putting in So we're putting in machines to machine aluminium parts for the motor, and then machine all the gears, and then make the motor with all the wires, and then lots of chemical processes, and then the assembly line where we put all those parts together. So my job is to have engineers that work out all those steps that we need to do that work, and then go and work with suppliers to buy the equipment, and then install the equipment, and then check the quality, and then start making small volume, and then big volume, and then finally, when it's all working well,
controlling the flow in manufacturing.
Sorry?
It's like controlling the flow of manufacturing vehicles.
Yeah, it was designing the manufacturing process, and then when it's all working well, fingers crossed, we then hand it over to the plant, and we go and work on the next program and leave the plant to run it day to day.
Was that your childhood dream? What was that?
Well, no, not really. Well, I mean, I liked engineering. I always helped my dad around the house doing DIY, the electrics in the house or mending the car. But when I applied for university, there was lots of companies that sponsored you when you went to university. So you could either go to university, and in those days you didn't have to pay for the education, but you had to pay for your accommodation. And so if you were certain industries, so engineering, you could. There was a booklet, and you look at all these different companies and say, and then you write to them and say, can you sponsor me to go to university? And then they let you work for lots of 3-month placements in different parts to see all the different parts of the company, and they pay you in the summer holidays so you can buy some beer for your university. So I applied for a few companies, and Ford accepted me, so that's how I ended up at Ford.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your precious time.
No problem.